Today I wanted to go out and talk to you about one of the hardest parts of being a creator, which is staying consistent. There's this feeling of like whenever I normally journal, I journal at home, of course, because this is the most accessible place, and I have my notebook there, of course, and it's like my space, you know. But there's something so like good feeling. I don't know how to put it in words, but it feels so good to journal at a park. It feels so relieving when you're doing it. I recommend you go out there, you know, go for a walk, go for a coffee, and journal a little bit. It feels amazing. Couldn't recommend it more. I brought my film camera today again. Actually, the last video, I finished a roll for this, and I finished a roll for the Canon Snappy Q as well. So I have one last roll left. It's at 0 shots. So I'm gonna, you know, take the opportunity while I'm here and just take some pictures. This myth of motivation, where I say myth because of course motivation feels great and everybody likes to be motivated to do things, but motivation is like a sugar rush. You know, whenever you get a sugar rush, you feel great for about an hour, then you crash, right? You feel like tired, go to sleep, and it's like, ugh. It's kind of like motivation works in the same way, where you feel motivated for a whole week. You do all of these things, and after you do all these things, you end up being like burnt out. As for me, I could say this has happened to me more than 20 times, where I start a new project and I like started so motivated on it. I do my research, and when it comes to film or like to create the project and execute, it's like, fuck, I'm burnt out. I don't know what to do next. I prepared my film camera today to shoot some pictures as well, but I have no clue what I'm gonna shoot because I'm in the same park I was last time, you know, and I feel like every shot I will want to take is gonna end up looking very similar to what I did last time, and I don't want that. I want different shots, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I was saying, motivation feels great at the beginning, of course, but if you don't know how to use it correctly, you're gonna end up being burnt out. So of course you wanna start with the minimum viable consistency. You're not gonna wanna upload daily. If you're in this content creation world, you're not gonna want to upload daily when you start, of course, because you're gonna end up being burnt out by the end of the week. A good solution for this is batch filming. You know, whenever you go out to film a video, knock out 2 to 3 videos you already planned. As for me, for example, today I came here to the park to film this YouTube video, of course, but I'm not only filming this YouTube video, I'm also filming 2 to 3 reels I have for a series that I started on Instagram. Also, a default setup will help you, you know, get out there and just start. For example, setting up your camera a day before, maybe, you know, putting the lens on, charging the batteries, keeping the tripod close enough wherever you can see it so that, you know, you just grab it on the go and just, you know, be ready to film your next video. As for me, I kind of do this where I prepare my bag, as you see here. I always have it with my film cameras in it. I have my notepad in it as well. Of course, I'm always carrying my phone. As for my camera, I always have it with the lens on, and it has all the equipment. I just have to grab my, you know, my microphones and my tripod and just go ahead and go and leave the house and just start filming. This is how my camera bag looks like. It's not really a camera bag. It's a bag I bought from Uniqlo. It's one of the best bags I've ever bought. So yeah, I keep my notepad in here, my keys, my film cameras, like I said, and it's just the best bag I've ever bought. And like I said, it just makes it easier for me to just grab and go. Another thing I want to mention, don't underestimate the power of routine. Yes, routines can be very overwhelming over time. I understand that. I am one myself that, you know, feels like routines are a little bit hectic sometimes. And it is about anchoring days to specific things, you know. For example, as for me, Saturdays are anchored to filming days, you know. Whenever it's a Saturday, I just go out, I guess, at a certain time of the day and just go out and film my videos for you to see next week. So Saturdays are my anchors to YouTube video. Another example is editing videos. Wednesday, Thursdays, those are like my anchors editing video days. So yes, it is about being specific with what you want to do and when you want to do it and what works for you, of course. You don't want to do something if it doesn't work. If it gets in the way of doing other things, you don't want to do that. The reason I mentioned having a good routine is a very powerful thing to do. Without it, you'll go about winging things you don't want. You don't want to wing. You're gonna go about a project without intention and just doing it to get it out of the way. You know what I mean? So having a specific day you want to do certain projects or certain things makes it structured and doesn't fall out of place, and you won't stress about it. You will prepare better and you will have the day for that. You know what I mean? So it works good for your mental health and like not being stressed about things you don't have to stress about. Burnout and breaks. Yes, breaks are really important when doing this. Of course, you want to create a balance that works for you. Like I said before, most creators end up vanishing or ghosting social media because of this exact reason. They don't plan their breaks, or they just go full to it until they make it, and then they just stop. So you want to balance life, real life, with this content creation life. It's not an easy thing to do. It takes time, it takes practice, it takes showing up. I guess what I'm trying to say is normalize planning your breaks and being intentional when taking your breaks and your rest, of course. If you want to do this for a living, you don't want to end up hating the job you're doing for a living. You know what I mean? Like I mentioned before, I started this social media a while back, and I've been on and off for years now, and it was because of this exact reason. Like I didn't know how to balance my real life with the life I wanted to create. The thing I've been doing differently is being intentional with taking breaks, being forgiving as well. Like if one day doesn't go as I planned it, I look back to the things I've been able to do in the past weeks or so, and be grateful for those things, and just being intentional with how I take my breaks as well. It's all been in the mindset I've entered this era of creating content. I felt the best I felt in a long time, to be honest. So it has all come to that, to being forgiving about whenever I miss something, and cutting some slack, because we're humans. Things are gonna happen in a day-to-day basis that we don't have control of. It's just how life is, and you just gotta suck it up and keep going. One of the last topics I want to cover in this video is obsessing over tracking numbers. You know what I mean? You want to obsess about your content creation without looking at the numbers. I think as creators, there's a tendency, of course, me included, of looking at how a video performed or how certain posts, click with people. You want to see the feedback, of course, so you want to see numbers grow. You gotta understand this is not something that, if you're lucky enough, or like if the algorithm blesses you, you might do it overnight, but for most people, it's not an overnight thing. So you gotta be very patient and very understanding about why you're posting your content. What has helped me with this certain topic, it's creating checklists. It is something I can look back onto, and celebrating small wins is a great feeling. And this checklist doesn't have to be complicated at all. Make it realistic. Whenever I get to check off those things, it feels great, it feels amazing. It feels like, hey, I woke up today, I did all these things, and I still have this time left. It's a great day. Just remember, consistency is not about motivation. It's about systems, routines, and having little habits. So let me know, what is your biggest struggle with staying consistent? If you stayed until the end of this video, I appreciate it. I've seen kind of a progress on my YouTube channel as of late, so I'm really appreciative of all of you new guys tuning in. I appreciate all the new subs and all you people resonating with the content. Yes, that is all I have to, talk about today. Again, I appreciate you being here if you stay to the end, and I will see you in the next episode. See ya.